Hello and Happy New Year! It's January 2026, the 2nd of January to be exact, and I've got to get this video up tomorrow, so I'm already back into work today. I did take a bit of a break over Christmas, but I just feel like I need to go back. I really want to make some art. I'm absolutely itching to get back into that. So here I am, and I'm all ready to go for this year. Let's get into it! I feel like my camera's on a lean. Apologies if I'm slightly skewed today, but it just does not want to stand up straight for whatever reason. I guess it feels like it's still on holiday. Thank you for your comments in my previous video, the end of year wrap up for 2025. I was just feeling a bit low because I was tired and overwhelmed by the end of the year and all the stuff that happened in Australia in December. It was a really difficult time, but I'm just going to let that go now because I just need to focus on moving forward, and I do really appreciate all of your supportive comments. I'm already feeling a lot better. I always do at the beginning of the year when I get that motivation to start again. I don't know what it is. It's just another day really, but it's just something about the start of a new year that makes me feel fresh and invigorated. I guess my main goal this year is to make art and as much of it as possible. It's not a very specific goal, but it's just something that I really want to do, get more creative and maybe not be getting in a whole lot of new art supplies. I want to work through a lot of the stuff that I already have. Some of you have had some interesting ideas for New Year goals, and I thought I would write them down so that I could read them out. I won't say who's said what, but hopefully one of your ideas is here. One of them is a slow buy. I really love that idea. So not necessarily not buying anything, but maybe making more conscious decisions before buying something. So my idea would be to put something on my wish list for a while, sleep on it, and not impulse buy it on the day. That is definitely a good goal. So a slow buy, I like that idea, rather than a no buy, because I don't think I could stick to that. I know I will see something that will come out that's brand new and wonderful that I'll want. So definitely the slow buy idea for me. Someone else said an art supply diet. I think that is hilarious. Someone says they are going to have a resist list instead of a wish list, and that's kind of an interesting concept. Maybe the things that you really want, but you're just going to resist buying them. And another idea, which is also something that I've been thinking about, is shopping the stash. So basically finding everything that I have forgotten about in my studio and using it. I think that might be quite a fun series. So it could almost be like an art haul where I pull out things that I've forgotten about, show them again, and then try out the supplies and use them, make some art. I'm still working on that idea. I haven't got that one planned out exactly yet, but I do think it's a really great one. So look out for that in the future. Now, there is one thing that I achieved last year that I didn't show. It was just a little personal achievement. I actually filled an entire journal throughout the entire year. I'll just give you a quick look at it. Look at the size of this. I bought this at the beginning of the year, and rather than writing in it, because I'm pretty bad at writing in journals, I just tend not to do it after a while, I thought I would make it more of a junk journal and a photographic journey. I bought one of those Canon Selphy printers where you can print out little 4x6 photos, and you can actually put 8 tiny little photos to one 4x6 page. It's such a great printer. I might link that in the description below if you want something that you can print out photos either for reference or your own photographs just for putting in a diary. I'll show you a few pages in it. This was my Christmas page with some little photos and things that happened in there, and I had some Christmas paper that I had been wanting to use for years, so I finally got a bit of that into my book. I finished this off just yesterday. This is my last couple of pages, finishing it off on the 1st of January, and then just adding a couple of photos I took of me, Nick, and the cats, because that's our household basically, and then I've just stuck in some other random bits of paper that I had lying around. Some weeks I didn't really do much, so I just stuck in bits of paper or things that I've collected. That was a postcard I got in an art shop somewhere, so I thought I would stick that in. Actually, that was at Melbourne Etching Supplies. Look, I even wrote it in there. When Nick and I went out anywhere, I would take a few little photos and then stick them in. Usually on the weekends we go out places for the day, and it was just a nice record of things that we've done. On our holiday, I mean, this book is not that big, I only just put in a few photos, but we started off the road trip here, and then I have another full page spread going like that with a bunch of photos and little stickers that I found on the trip. and then that flips over. I cut a few things out of pamphlets, little maps and whatnot, and yeah, it's just a good way to record things that I've done, and I can flip through and look back on that over the year and just remind myself of what I did. I'm hoping to do another one for this year. I am waiting to get another one of these Daphne's Diaries journals because I really like them, but unfortunately it's coming from the UK, and the news agency where I've asked to get one says they haven't arrived in yet. This one came in about 3 weeks late into January last year, so I'm fully expecting the same thing. I do have a couple of other diaries, but I'm really hoping I can get another one of these because this was so much fun to do. I also have a few extra art supplies which have come in since I did that art supply haul, and these are mostly things that came from companies because of course I had a few outstanding things, and they've all arrived right around the end of December, and even one on the 1st of January. The parcels never end, not even on the public holidays. I ordered myself a brush roll for all of those new brushes I bought at that sale, so I've got them all safely kept away, although I do really need to go through all of my watercolour brushes and maybe sort them out a bit more because I've got brands and different ones, and it's just a bit of a mess. I've got, I think, 4 brush wallets worth of them, maybe even more, but yes, I do need to consolidate my most favourite watercolour brushes together. Oh, Hoo sent me some markers, and I wasn't going to actually accept them, but they are in a smaller size, which I thought might be handy to take to my colouring group because I have quite a lot of markers, but they're really cumbersome and I don't like bringing them. Well, these turned up and they are so adorable. Look at these little cases, how cute are they? So I'm actually really glad I accepted these because the cases alone are just so cute, and I'm definitely going to have to do a little review on those because of course they sent me some paper as well, and it's this huge marker pad. Look at it, it's massive, and so that's something that's on my list to do. I've also got the Artex sketchbooks, which they sent me these 2 here, and I've got all 4 of them now, so I think probably my next review I'm actually going to get into the sketchbooks because I just really want to get going on making some art. The thing I got which turned up yesterday is a bit bigger than I was expecting. A couple of years ago I was sent a set by Mei Liang of the watercolours, and it was a really good little set. Well, they also have some pearlescent colours, and I thought it was going to be a small set like that. Look at the size of the box, it's huge. And the reason I accepted these ones is because they are shiny, and I just thought I could be inspired by some shiny pearlescent paints. But of course they can't just send one thing. No, they had to send a sketchbook as well, and I'm just going, I've already got like 10 sketchbooks, so I'm not too sure if I will open the sketchbook at the same time, but I'll show everything in a video at some point too. Gone and bumped the camera, so I think I've moved a little bit. Oh yes, my head's been cut off. I tell you, I'm having a morning. I hope that's better. Anyway, I went into the art shop because I really needed to get some more fixative, and I just bought a bottle of this. I've never tried it before, but I'm hoping it will be good because the other one I have is in a spray can and it really stinks, whereas this one's supposed to be odour-free and non-toxic. I'm hoping this one will be much better. But of course, I made the tactical error of looking at things when I went into the art shop, and I spotted this tin of Mungyo watercolour crayons. It just looks so lovely, and I couldn't help myself. I ended up buying it. I actually have already done an artwork with it. One of the few things I did over the holidays. A camel! They're really lovely, and I was feeling super inspired by them, so I'm definitely going to have to do some more art with these in my sketchbooks, probably those Artex ones. Of course, there's no way I was going to be able to get some new art done for tomorrow, which is when this video is going up, which is today for you guys. Late last year, I did a few artworks that I felt weren't quite finished, and so I decided that I'm going to actually finish those off, and I've done that for this video, so let me show you what I did. A few months ago I reviewed some Fumui products and I did these paintings. They were very pastel colours in the palette, and I felt like they needed something else, and so I am going to add to these today, all 3 of them in fact. I deliberately left them on my desk so that I would actually do this, because if I put them away then they're probably never coming out of the folder again. And the other picture which felt unfinished is this rolling hills one I did with those paint pens. I really don't like the black outlines, and I'm going to change that for either gold or silver. And I'll eventually have to choose that in a moment. But I also got out these 2 little sets of shiny paints that I have, CV Arts and Shimmer Drops. They're both lovely, and today is a good reason to use them again. Time to get back into it. And first up, I'm trying to decide whether I want gold or silver. I just could not pick. So I just tried a little bit of the gold. It felt like it was going to disappear into it a bit, so I, in the end, opted for silver. It was standing out more. Of course, later I was thinking I probably did want the gold, but I've gone with the silver and committed to it. It's just as well I have multiple silver pens because the first one was running out and it had gone quite transparent, so I've got a newer silver pen from a newer Artex set, and this one was a lot more opaque. It was covering the black nicely. I had to go over it a few times just to pick up little bits that I'd missed, but already I'm happier with the silver, though the lines had to be a bit thicker to make sure I covered all of the black up. I added a tiny bit onto the fins of the windmill, and once I've done that, I realised I'd drawn the right-hand side of the page. I should have started with the left, so I've just flipped the book upside down. It's so much easier. And then I wasn't going to smudge any wet paint accidentally because I'm good at doing that. It was quite a relaxing activity doing this, and I'm so glad I went back and covered this with silver. I feel a lot better about it. The black was bothering me. I don't know about anyone else. I'll leave that up to you as to whether it looks better or not, but I just like the fact that it's shiny, and I think it looks nice. Maybe gold would have been better, but I do quite like the silver on the windmill as well, so I'm happy with this. And here are a couple of other pages with some gold on them. I really like this page spread. I did this in my own time, and the right one is a version of Starry Night by Van Gogh. I might do this as a bigger project. I'm not too sure yet if that's going to happen. Here's a couple of pictures I did on our road trip last year, which I haven't even really talked about or shown any pictures of. I'm hoping to do future art with some of those photos. I've got that red blob that I painted in from a swatch, and that's all I've done in that sketchbook. I'll put that to one side and get out some other brushes and things that I want to use to paint with these shinies. This is a little travel set by Meaden, and they're really handy brushes. I needed to prep these shiny paints by adding in some water, so in the end I got a dripper out and did that because it's much easier than adding it with a brush. Like any shiny mica pigments, they do take a while to activate, so if you sit some water on them, they will come to life nicely. And first up is my galah. I'm going for more of a subtle shimmer on this one, so you probably won't see too much of it until nearer the end of it, mainly because I need to move it around in the light. But I'm using the CV Art shimmer ones here, and these ones are really glittery. Both sets of paints I'm using today are made by local businesses within Australia, and I'll link their websites down below so you can check them out. I think they do international shipping, but I imagine it probably costs a fortune, as do the paints. But I do have to say they are really pretty paints. And for the galah, I've just added a subtle shimmer to the feathers, trying not to cover the entire thing in glitter. I also felt like the grass needed something, so I'm adding in the green from the CV Art set, which is a bit darker and does have quite a lot of shimmer, which I'll show in a moment because it's really hard to see when the light is just shining straight down onto the paper. You can see on the grey some of that pinky holographic one though. And now that I've finished, let's move it around in the light so you can see all of that beautiful glitter. I think it's just made the whole picture look so much better, and I'm a lot happier with it now. On to the next picture, and I'll try to remember to put the paints on camera this time. That's better. So I was going to start off with the green, but then I changed my mind and I'm going to the gold from the Shimmer Drop set. This is the free one I received when I'd ordered some other things, so I'm not entirely sure if this set is available on their website, but they will have similar colours. I know for a fact that the CV Arts one on the right hand side there is not available as a set of 6 anymore, at least not that I can find on their website. But they do have a larger 12-pan set called the Master Holographic set, and I think these colours might be in there. It's so hard to tell, and I don't know the names of any of them, so that's really helpful, isn't it? But I'm super glad I added the gold onto the leaves. It's looking so much better already, and I just knew that this painting was unfinished and it really needed to be fixed up. So normally I'll go into a year starting off afresh with new art, but I just really wanted to add shimmer to these particular paintings, and I thought, let's do it now or I'll never do it. And it is nice sometimes to revisit a piece of art and to fix up anything that you don't like or add things to it. There's no law that says you can't go back to revisit something, although technically speaking I did actually do all of this still in 2025 because I knew I was going to take a break and I really didn't want to have to rush into my first video. for the year, having to start an entirely new artwork from scratch, so this just ended up being a nice compromise. I get to finish off something that I really wanted to do. I was then able to take a break and then put the rest of this video together pretty quickly, so I didn't have to stress myself out too much. Now I could have just left it with the leaves, and I probably should have, but I couldn't help but add some of those glitter paints to the roses. That blue matches this rose just perfectly well, and it looks so pretty. I'm really glad I did this one. But then of course I have to do all 3 roses, and this purple ended up being entirely too dark. I think I might have messed this one up a little bit, but I decided right here that I was committed, and I'm just going to outline the rest of it. That one's definitely not my favourite though. The pink one turned out alright. I'm using a red coloured glitter here, but it actually worked pretty well, as the pink that I used beforehand is leaning to the red side anyway. I think it is called red grey, if I'm not mistaken, so that worked out really well. You can see I'm making some sizable dents in these paints. I don't know that I can ever get replacements for them, but I've decided I'm just going to use them and enjoy them until they're gone, because I'm sure I'll find something else after that. But here's this one finished, and I do like the shimmer, although I think I might have ruined the purple one a little bit, but never mind, we'll just gloss over that. I really do like the red pink on that one, and the blue is just so lovely. The gold worked really well for the leaves, and I think that's my favourite part of it. I just like that the whole thing has a bit of movement in it now, and it's not so flat. I'll call it a win. And of course I had to paint glitter on this one because it's meant to be anemones, but it could also be fireworks, which I tried to do in another painting, and that one wasn't very good either. But this one now really feels like it's going to be fireworks, adding in all of those beautiful holographic shimmers to them. And I'm just matching colours as much as possible, although it didn't really matter if they weren't exactly the same. It's just to give the painting another dimension on top and make everything look sparkly and happy, because that's what I enjoy doing. At this point in my YouTube career, I have accumulated so many paints and other art supplies, so I'm just really trying to use as much as I possibly can. I guess that's my main goal for this year, making art and using art supplies. Other than that, I haven't really made any concrete plans, although hopefully I will have actually done some more planning by the time this video goes up. I already feel like I have so many video ideas, and I'm just wondering how on earth I'm actually going to film them all, so I guess I'm just going to do one at a time and work my way through my list of potential videos. Always at this time of year particularly, I want to just do everything at once, and I just need to calm the farm, write my thoughts out into my planners, and hopefully I shall have a more organised itinerary soon. So I guess we'll find out together what's going to happen in the future. Just finishing up here with some more shimmer, and this is the finished painting. I really love it now. It's got all of those lovely glittery and metallic paints on it. It's really brought the whole thing to life, and it really does feel like fireworks to me, so Happy New Year! I got there in the end. It only took me a few attempts, and I absolutely love this particular paint. It's a lovely holographic one. It's so pretty, and if I can get a replacement for that one, I definitely will. I forgot one up there. I'm just going to quickly paint that now because I can't leave it. I'll just grab some of the red shimmer and quickly paint on a little bit. I'm glad I saw that when I was filming this, because it would be so annoying to find that later when I've put it into my folio. And now it's finished. I'm happy with that. I'm glad I ended up painting all 3 of them with some shimmer, because it keeps them looking like a trio, even though they're completely different subjects, and I feel like all of them have been elevated with that shimmer. And now I can store them in my folio, confident that they're actually finished, and I feel like I can put this whole project to bed finally. But I'm not quite done, because I have a bonus picture to paint. This is actually a reject from that video. I decided I didn't like it and I wasn't going to show it, but I'm looking at it now. I don't hate it. It just needs some glitter or something over the top of it. So I'm just going to do that, and I thought I would show you that bit. I was going to show you the entire painting, but I'm just looking at it going, no, I'm not happy with it. So let's just add some shimmer to it and be done. I actually traced this from a colouring book. It's called Wildflower Folk by Karron. So it's actually not my artwork, I just traced it out of the book onto some watercolour paper, and then I made a bit of a mess of it. I regret outlining most of it in the black pen. It's just not looking right, especially the wolf. Its fur is just completely wrong, and I was getting a bit annoyed with this when I was filming it the first time, so I just put it to one side with the idea that I was going to put it away. But then when I started painting the other 3 pictures with that shimmer paint, I thought, oh, I'll give this a go as well and see if I can rescue it a little bit. I don't know if I've done that, but I do think it looks better than it did before. And I'll put this in my folio as well, even though I'm still not a big fan of it. But I do try to keep everything that I do, even if I don't really like it, because it's a good way to learn from my mistakes, hopefully. Even though this is not my own art, and I will probably write on there that it's from the colouring book so that I can remember which one it's from. I have lots of colouring books, as you probably know. But here's what it looks like with all that beautiful holographic shimmer, and I think that has saved it so much. It's not perfect, but it is looking a lot better, and I'm happier with the wolf. That pinky holographic one is so pretty. And the purple worked much better on this particular picture than it did on the rose. I just thought I would show that one as well, why not, eh? And those are all neatly put away in my folders so I can start afresh with some new artworks. That's what I'm planning to do all year. Let's use our art supplies, let's make art, and let's try and have some fun in 2026. Thanks for watching this video. As always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and you might want to subscribe for lots more videos to come. Have a great day out there, and I'll see you all again really soon in my next video. So I'll see you later. Bye!